100% guilty of terminating the competition, Frank.
Well, he's the man that would know. He looks like he has the ability to do it tonight. Very aggressive attitude he has this year as compared to last year. He knows he's at his best. Sort of similar to how Linda Murray felt in her attitude about winning. Really motivated to come back because of not being satisfied with the previous year's showing. And you know, you got to use all the motivation you can get from situations, and both of them have certainly been able to do it. There's that famous back again. Wow. With all that muscle. Yates is a bodybuilder who lets his body speak for itself. No fancy choreography, just all pure muscle shots. Really playing up that back strength he has. Make sure everybody gets a good look at that.
Definitely back, isn't he, Frank?
He sure is. Good presentation. And a lot of muscle.
We'll be back with more of the Mr. Olympia. Nasser El Sanbadi, Vince Taylor, Chris Cormier.
Gentlemen, quarter turn to the right.
Sean Ray, Dorian Yates, Kevin Levrone.
Quarter turn to the right.
The top bodybuilders in the world, Frank, and what are the judges looking for right here? Their last chance, I guess.
Right, just making some final comparisons. They pretty well have in mind how it's going to turn out, but just making sure now.
Front double bicep.
Yeah, things could change. You know, they're a bit more dehydrated now than they were earlier, and they're showing a bit more muscularity, and for some that could be significant.
Well, there have been 9 champions of the Mr. Olympia. Could we have a 10th tonight? Could there be a surprise? And who might that be?
Well, you never know what's going to happen until it happens.
Turn to the rear.
Everybody has their favorites,
of course.
One leg back
showing the calf. Double bicep.
A lot of muscle up there.
And how about Vince Taylor? Took a few years off from the Olympia in the top 6.
He just keeps getting better.
Relax. Side tricep.
This is such hard work, Joe. It's like you've run a marathon the day after the show. Everything's sorer than it's ever been.
Well, it's been a long night, and I imagine that... What are you running on here? You've been in this spot before.
Stored body fat. I mean, all the glycogen is used up. And, you know, unless your electrolyte balance is just right on, you could cramp up from tensing the muscles. for such long periods of
Judges
time.
would like-
It's happened.
Nasser to get in between Sean and Dorian.
Here we go. Nasser moving in between Sean Ray and Dorian Yates.
Well, that undoubtedly means something.
Front double bicep.
And the fans here are just loving it. We've got a sellout crowd here at the Civic Center Auditorium in downtown Atlanta. As many of you know, Atlanta, a hotbed for bodybuilding. This is Lee Haney's hometown, the 8-time Mr. Olympia. They're getting a great show tonight.
Side chest.
Now, Nasser El-Somebody looks outstanding in the first 3 compulsory poses, the front double bicep, front lat spread, and the side chest pose.
Rear double bicep.
Really holds his own with those. But now is where it breaks down a little bit, because we have some outstanding backs up there. Levrone and Yates and Sean Ray this year, and Vince Taylor, just incredible backs.
Lat spread.
And who has the widest lat spread here?
Well, the muscles are different shaped. When you look at Levrone, you see the deltoid sticking way out. Yates has that incredible
Side
thickness.
tricep.
You know, Sean Ray doesn't have an easy time up there. He probably weighs around 200 for this contest, and he's standing
Abdominal
next
and
to somebody
thigh.
70 pounds heavier than him.
Incredible.
Yet he comes off looking very, very good because he's so developed. He's in such good shape.
Gentlemen, relax. And if the music man's ready, pose down.
The pose down at the Mr. Olympia.
Sounds more like a Mardi Gras.
Horns blaring.
At this point, I don't see a lot of spark up there. I mean, these guys are worn out.
Well, just the excitement of still being there, still standing next to Dorian must motivate you, must keep you alive, must keep you breathing.
Well, they're doing their best.
And of course, these guys were backstage when they saw the previous Mr. Olympias come on the stage, and there was a swirl backstage with the bodyguards surrounding Arnold. It's just been a wild scene on the stage tonight.
Joe, that was a great experience for me being up there with those guys. Only 9 Olympians in 30 years. It's hard to believe, and I feel really fortunate having been one of them. And now tonight we're going to see if there's going to be a 10th, or if Dorian Yates is going to reign and be Mr. Olympia again for the 4th time. He's got a lot going for him. I think he's going to do it.
Well, certainly Dorian looks so much better than a year ago.
He looks very confident, too. I mean, not that he always doesn't look confident. If there's one guy that's sure of himself, it's Dorian. But I think he knows he's got it tonight.
And this is an amazing top 6. Really, there are a few guys who could win this show.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And we'll be back to crown the champion after
Thank
this
you,
break.
gentlemen. Please file off the stage. Down a little bit to the left, gentlemen. Move
Joe Amato with Frank Zane. Frank, a former 3-time Mr. Olympia. We are watching the 1995 Mr. Olympia.
6th place, a check of $12,000 being presented by Jack Baraka of Mastercare. And the certificate being presented by John Gutierrez of Jaguar. And those awards will be presented to competitor number 7, Chris Cormier.
2 years in a row, 6th place for Chris Cormier.
Yes, he beat a lot of good guys, you know. Judging from who's standing there, I think that's a good call. Chris has a bright future.
Chris Cormier, 6th place.
Great shape tonight.
Fifth place, a check of $15,000 being presented by Bubba Hacka of Muscle Master. And the certificate being given by Bill Kazmaier of Panada. Those awards will be presented to competitor number 2, Vince Taylor.
Vince looked like he knew he had 5th. And he's happy to get it. He knows the caliber of the people that he finished ahead of, and he's grateful.
Checking the fine print on the check.
Vince Taylor, 5th place.
Great return to the Olympia by Vince Taylor.
4th place, a check of $25,000 being presented by Art Gutierrez of Advanced Free Weight Systems. And a certificate being given by Mitchell Bobrow of Otomics. And those awards will be given to competitor number 8, Sean Ray.
Wow.
Now there's a surprise.
And you can see it on Sean's face. Very disappointed.
Sean thought he was in there for the in the running for the title. And getting 4th is a big disappointment to him, especially in light of the shape he's in.
2nd a year ago, 4th this year.
Sean Ray, 4th place.
Well, it just goes to show you how hard it is for a smaller guy to win it.
Now the last 3, Kevin Levrone, Dorian Yates, Nasser El Sanbati.
In 3rd place, a check of $30,000 being presented by Dave Hawk of Cybergenics. And the certificate being given by Joe Babbitt of Cybergenics. The bronze Mr. Olympia medal being given by Mike Ryan of Gold's Gym. And the bronze Sandow medal being given by Greg Perkins of Egg Beaters. And those awards go to competitor number 1, Nasser El Sanbati.
Well, a bit of disagreement by the crowd. You know, I think this vote by the judges is an indication of the trend that bodybuilding continues to move in, away from shape definition and balance proportion towards sheer mass. And I know that some people are disappointed by that, but when you get 270 pounds of muscle standing next to you at about 5'9", it's just really hard to stay on the same stage as that. And that's, I think, what Sean Ray found to overcome him tonight. I can't say I go along with this decision, but he is a very good winner.
7th a year ago, 3rd tonight, and now Kevin Levrone's heart must be thumping. Could he knock off Dorian Yates? Dorian, I'm sure, thinking that he has won this show. But for Kevin, the top American bodybuilder,
a check of $50,000 being presented by Will and Norm Davish of Powerhouse Gyms. The silver Mr. Olympia medal being given by John Oliva of Twin Lab. The silver Sandow medal being given by Peter Parsons of American Bodybuilding Products. And the certificate being given by Amy Fodley of EAS. And that award goes to competitor number 18, Kevin Levrone.
And Yates has done it again.
4 straight Olympia titles for Dorian Yates. Kevin Levrone, the runner-up.
Kevin looks a little disappointed, but he has $50,000. I mean, how unhappy can you be with that?
full-blown Kevin Levrone, and that puts him, no doubt, he is the top American bodybuilder right now. And in just a moment, the audience will go crazy for Dorian Yates.
Kevin Levrone, second place.
Well, he did his very best, and that's all you can do.
And the winner for the 4th year in a row, receiving the largest check in bodybuilding history to date, $110,000. The gold Sandow medal, the gold Olympia medal, the Mr. Olympia certificate, and the Sandow statue, all being presented by Dr. Scott Connolly, Joe Weider, Ben Weider, Raphael Santoka, and Pamela Kagan. To Dorian Yates.
And Dorian wins it all. 4th Mr. Olympia, in the best shape of his life, and a great comeback after having a bad year last year.
Scott Connolly from Metrex on the stage, joined by Joe Weider and Ben Weider.
And Raphael Santoka.
And all hail Dorian Yates, Mr. Olympia for 1995. And much like Linda Murray, had that terminating presentation tonight. We'll be back to talk.